Now, of course, I know you don't want to hear about it again, but we've got to talk about the stage 3 tax cuts.
Oh, make it
I know,
brief.
it's Liz's favourite topic.
Oh, make it brief. We haven't even seen any legislation yet. We're literally speculating about speculation. It does my head in. Let's actually see something.
Well, even though we've seen nothing, apart from the vague promise of $15 extra a week, how great that is, we see new news polling out today, which shows this is popular with the electorate. Now, we knew this would be the case, right? This is why they've done it. They'd already done the internal polling before they came out with the proposal. But 62% of Australians, according to Newspoll today, say they support the changes to the tax cuts. You also had some other stuff out of Newspoll. Two-party preferred, Labor's still at 52%, and Labor's primary vote is up slightly as well. So it would seem that this is working out for them. But it boxes the coalition into a somewhat awkward corner, because they now have to decide whether they support this proposal when the draft legislation eventually comes through and effectively say we're going to go back on the tax cuts that we legislated in stage 3 so that people on the lower end of the scale can get an extra tax cut. This was Bridget McKenzie talking about this problem today.
Newspoll is Newspoll. But 100% of Australians hate being lied to. Right? That I can absolutely categorically say.
Even if you get more dollars in the hip pocket?
Well, you never trust that guy again, right? You say, thank you very much, I'll pocket that. I'll make sure I spend that money on the things that my family and my household need. I earned it after all. But 100% I'm never going to trust what you say again, mate.
Now, I think the issue here is obviously it is popular. We know that. Who doesn't want an extra tax cut? Anyone will take it if it's offered to them. If the coalition were to say we're not going to support this change, what they would effectively be doing is handing Labor a campaign come election time saying Peter Dutton didn't want to give you your tax cut.
But Labor would love it.
Choice, right?
Labor would absolutely love it. And then you've got the Greens also saying, no, we want this as well. If you want us to be in bed with you on this, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. It would be such a win for Labor to turn around and be like, we tried to give more money back to you. And then the Greens, the Liberals, the coalition wouldn't let us, but we tried, because obviously the measure has polled incredibly popular.
Yep.
That was never in doubt, as you said. They would have absolutely polled that to the back teeth before they made the move. So it's a given. But what we've seen is the needle hasn't budged on two-party preferred. Now, granted, he's still coming up as better PM. He's on 46. Dutton's got a 35. I'm assuming the rest of the gap in the number there is just people who are like, I don't care, either or, whatever. Who are these people? But what counts is votes. What counts is self-interest. It doesn't matter how popular a move you've made is unless that translates to votes. Nothing's more important to any government than getting re-elected, and they're not seeing that in the polling yet. It's early days yet, but given the measure has polled so popular, it's not coming out in favour of Albanese any more than it was in December, which I am actually surprised about, because you would have thought people would be really grateful for the sugar hit, and who doesn't want to vote for Robin Hood? He robbed the rich to give to us, thank you. But it's not yet translating. That's not to say it won't, though.
That's a big problem for Albanese, because he's burned a lot of political capital, used a lot of energy. He's destroyed whatever trust was left in him for, as you said, virtually no bounce in the polls at all. And I think part of the reason for that is people realise it's $15 a week. It's literally they're getting back 10% of what they had lost in terms of spending power under the duration of this government. So the trick for the Liberals is they cannot allow this to become an argument on tax. They've got to keep the main thing, which is Anthony Albanese's credibility. They've got to continue to paint the fact that you can't trust Albanese, and then they can use that. No, they can use that line of it. They've already been building this with the $275 power bill promise. They could go on and on. Everything Elbow says now, they can call into question.
We simply cannot make this Labor Prime Minister's lie. Remember Tony Abbott's 2014 budget? There will be no cuts to education. No cuts to health, no cuts to... There was cuts to everything in that budget.
But no one's...
All prime ministers lie.
No one's thinking about Tony Abbott when we come round to the next federal election.
I'm simply saying people are used to it. People are used to it.
I don't think people are that
cynical. It's not like, oh, this is so unprecedented. Yes, it's a powerful campaign election line, and yes, the Liberals will hit it hard all the way to election day and beyond, reminding the Australian people this man lied through his teeth for months, knowing exactly what he was going to do. But I just think it doesn't carry enough weight, as we've just seen in today's Newspoll with regards to better PM. Those are significant numbers. And you can't either turn your nose up at the fact that two-party preferred, they're still in the lead.
Exactly.
This hasn't moved the dime at all. So
that's the thing.
People aren't like, oh, well, since this tax cut announcement, he's a liar. No, he hasn't gained anything from it, but he's not suffering.